Thank you so much for being here and for coming to our festival in such a strange year.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think anyway you have been traveling. I guess you have been moving in different festivals. And first of all, how do you feel about this situation?
Yeah. So first of all, thanks to you for the invitation. It's a huge pleasure to be here. And about these strange times, it's a bit a mess because I live with my family, and when I go out to other country to work, and even when I'm on my own country, I'm always thinking if there's any possibility of whatever. Yeah. But at the same time, we need to keep moving, and we need to do as much as we can to be safe, you know.
Yes.
And to protect our family and friends, but we have to keep working, and this kind of festivals are important because you have the communitary part that I really appreciate, and it's an opportunity to meet other people from other places. So yeah, I wanted to be here this year. Yeah.
The tricky part, because first of all, you're traveling around the world or Europe or whatever, and your work is based on having people working with you.
Yeah.
So that's a
Helping
double side. You have
Yeah.
to go out of your country and stay with a lot of people, or small groups. But
Yeah, small groups.
it's like, does it frighten you? You have any kind of fear of, well?
Of course, yeah. I have to fear a bit the situations, but at the same time, here I'm feeling really safe, and the measures are all at the point they have to be. So yeah, it's like
it's normal, but you won't stop. You will keep working.
Yeah, I have to plan the stuff I want to do in a different way. I need more time to do the stuff because everything is slowing down and taking more time. But we have to adapt to this new situation and to find the balance in between.
You told me you're from a small village near to Lisbon.
Yeah.
What's your background?
Yeah, so I think the scenario that most influenced me was my family, especially my great-grandmother and my grandmothers that used to, when I was a child, they used to form like a group on Sunday evenings and on other days. But that scenario of the perfect
Your
Sunday,
picture,
of them embroidering together and doing crochet and other stuff. And I was like, okay, I want to be part of that club, and I want to do stuff with you. You know, just teach me how to do it. Yeah. And then I started to do my first scarf.
At what age?
I can't.
You don't even recall. You were so small, or?
Yeah, maybe 10.
Well.
Yeah, I guess the first scarf, maybe 10. Yeah. And then I grew up, of course, and then I started to be really curious about street art and graffiti. Most of my friends used to do graffiti, so I was really into that world and that vibe. And I decided to study arts.
Okay.
But then I chose graphic design, to be more specific. And when I was doing my bachelor, this improbable combination happened between my background with my family and with my friends. Like, all the things came together, and I discovered that I could use a traditional technique, in this case the cross stitch, and readapt it and rethink about it in a different way. So I could communicate with my generation using a traditional technique.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
And I discovered that the cross stitch specifically works the same way as the digital unit that we use for everything, the pixel. Yeah.
I was about to tell you, once you're close to your work, you're touching it, you know, it is a traditional technique. But once you get a bit step forward, you see pixel art.
Yeah.
I see, yeah. So
Sure. And when I'm planning the work, I'm working with pixels.
Yes.
And then I start working with cross stitch. Yeah. I'm jumping from digital to analog to digital, all the time. Yeah. It's a fact. And when I discovered that the unit of cross stitch works the same way the unit of digital, I just said, okay, I can do anything I want with this, so I will just try. And then I started to hear the opinions of my colleagues from the university, and they were like, oh, what's this? How this works? I want to know more about it. And I was like, okay, I can connect to different generations, you know?
Yes.
With one work, I can create a dialogue between my grandmother and a kid, which is great.
It's great. Yeah. And when was this? When did you start it? When
I discovered this curious connection when I was doing my bachelor. So in that time, I was like 18 years old, I guess, when I started by doing a poster for school.
First, yeah.
Yeah, because they asked me to do a poster to communicate something that that was influenced by my roots. Okay.
Yeah.
So I decided, okay, I will pick something that I don't know, and I asked my grandmother to show me random stuff that could be interesting.
Yeah.
And then my grandmother showed up with a small piece of fabric with small letters with the technique of the cross stitch, you know, and graphic design and letters. Yeah. You have to work with letters to work with graphic design. Yeah. So the first thing I did was a poster. Yeah. With the lettering, with a bit of glitch and some crazy effects. Yeah, using cross stitch.
And your first big work, your wall or whatever, or here you're doing a billboard. It's going to be great. But your first, you know, your artwork.
It was like 1 year or two after that poster, and it was because I used to go to abandoned place with my friends because they used to paint and to do graffiti, and one day I decided, okay, what about trying to put these in a bigger scale so I can like do something at the same time they are painting, you know? I can
not just being there watching them.
And taking photos, and I could do something. So I decided to try. I bought some nails, not screws, nails, a little hammer, a bit of wool, and decided to try. And the curious part of it is that the factory where we were just had two walls that I could put nails on it.
Really?
And the wall I chose was one of that. Yeah.
And what year was this?
It was like 3-4 years ago, maybe 4.
Oh, so you've been doing this for 4 years?
Yeah. I have a lot to explore and to experiment.
First of all, do you work as a graphic designer?
Yeah, I still work, and I think that's really important for me to create a balance.
Great.
You know?
Great. Okay.
Yeah. So I can like rest a bit from the artistic stuff and to communicate projects from other people with a briefing, you know? Because in the artistic world, you have you have all the works you do have a direct connection with your feelings and your mindset.
Yes.
And in graphic design, usually you have to communicate a project from that another person created or another message.
I used to say in graphic design you have to solve a problem. There's a problem of communication or whatever, and you have kind of boundaries that you can't cross, and you have a different path than in an artistic. And it's great because
Absolutely,
Diego, for example, or Marta, they're designers both, and at some point they decided to stop doing that kind of work because they wanted to explore only their artistic side.
Okay.
But it's great. You need this kind of balance.
Yeah, and you know, the graphic design part still influenced me a lot in the artistic world.
Great.
Yeah, because at the same point, I can also see my work, my artistic work, has a solution for a problem, if this makes sense.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is why I like to connect what I want to say and to express with references from the cities, from a story that I've heard, you know, and to mix everything in one.
And do you think you use the same method as a designer? Like the previous work, I don't know, searching for pictures or for kind of information to make your artwork, or is it a different process when you design or when you are?
The searching part?
Yeah.
It's almost the same, yeah. It's to search and to try to know as much as I can about something, a subject, whatever. Then the part of creating, you know, it's different. Yeah.
Talking about exploration, because we were saying you've just been doing this for 4 years, so you have a lot of work to do and explore. Are you thinking about the next step, or just it's a work in progress that you're improving something or trying something new but just small steps? Or I mean, do you know where are you going? Are you trying to find a different kind of work, or you know your work is going to be like this for about 10 years, just screws and wool?
No. Of course, I have to go step by step.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Of course, I have some goals, you know, and some ideas in my mind, but you know, they change so quickly, and depending on what I am living now and what's the world scenario, it all influences how you see your work and where are you going. So of course I have like more long-term goals and smaller term goals, but
this kind of technique, I think, is your trademark.
Yeah.
Because everybody sees that kind of wall and we think Aheneah.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you thinking about maybe one day I will cross the lane and I will only do pixel art? I will paint only with, or you're gonna work with this technique forever, for as long as your artistic name?
I don't think so. I think I don't have to have that boundaries so strict.
Great.
Okay. I think I can readapt, but you know, it's a question of explore as much as I can and as much as I'm comfortable and happy with it. And if one day I decide that maybe my work has to be something different, I have to explore another technique, other materials, I will do it. I don't want to be like closed in a box.
Great, you're open to it. I think I've seen some pictures and the first wall that you were working with elder people. How is that connection with, because we were talking about an elder a traditional technique with young people, because they are digital kind of type of work, but do elder people like to work with you and enjoy doing this kind of work?
Yeah, and most of the inputs I have about my work come from elder people.
Yes.
Yeah, like this morning, a lady showed up with crochet needles. Because she was telling me, I think that if we use this, it's easier to put the knots in the screws.
With the hook.
Yeah.
Great.
And I was like, okay, let's try it. So yeah, because they know the technique.
Yes.
They know like how to do it.
Yes.
In the traditional way. So for them, it's easier to readapt it, to rethink about it, because they know the basis. You know, like if you don't know how to do it, it's difficult for you to try to improve.
Yeah, you don't know a technique. You're just figuring out. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. If you say it's like this, I will do like this. Yeah. But I have like crazy stories with other people. Yeah.
It's great, and I've heard a lot of projects with elder people in Portugal, like Lata 65 in Spanish, and it's great to see work like that, and they really enjoy it. They really enjoy it, and they want to help.
Yeah, and they are more energetic than you think.
Yes.
Yeah, they are like boom, and the work is done. Yeah, it's really, they have like, I don't know, they are excited about it. They are like, it's awesome to have that connection with the people.
Wow, it's great.
Yeah.
How do you see the urban art scene in Portugal in general? Because we know a lot of artists from there, and they are great, and a lot of different styles.
Yep.
So why do you think it's that so? Why?
I don't know, but that's a fact. There are lots of people in Portugal that have they have an interesting work, and they don't just paint, you know.
Yeah.
They do like lots of sculptures or working with different materials. Until now I can't figure out why.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of the traditional techniques that we still use in some stuff. I don't know. There's a lot of references from the tiles to the textile. Yeah, for example. Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't answer that question.
But in a cultural way, Portugal is like that. It's a great mixture of, I don't know, of traditional kind of culture, and
I believe so. Of course, unfortunately, there are some stuff that are a bit forgotten in time.
Yeah, that's
and the countryside of Portugal is really rich, but need a new dynamic or whatever, because everyone wants to go near the sea, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
And when you go to the countryside, you understand that there are many things to explore and to like keep alive, you know.
Yeah.
But in a general way, I think that we keep lots of traditions, and we try to maintain the knowledge,
to keep it
to pass
alive.
it. Yeah.
Another difficult question. And you're very young. You've been working in urban art for 4 years, but I guess you've seen enough to see that there's a lot of urban art festivals. Every city, every village wants to have their walls painted, the festival, the urban art, whatever.
Yep.
How do you feel it? Where do you think we're going with all this stuff? We're talking about here about this is going to explode. We don't know if for good or for bad. But
yeah, that's a question.
There's a lot of urban artists, a lot of places to be painted, and sometimes conditions are not the best for you guys.
Yeah.
What's your feeling about this? Is this gonna end, or is this gonna keep growing up and being?
I think we are understanding that public art is an awesome way to communicate the history of one place, one city. Yeah, that's a perfect way to connect to give something to the locals in a cultural way, that they feel that they are part of it, you know.
Yeah.
Someone from other country come and do a piece on it or an installation, but they feel that it's part of
Yeah, I know what
you know. Yeah. So I think this will keep going, but I think it will. I think we need to readapt it, you know, to maybe new ways of expressing it, new kinds of installation, or I don't know. You can do so many stuff besides painting or doing installations. You have so many ways to do art, you know, that I think there are lots of stuff to explore.
Yes.
So I guess we still have much to do in public art. Yeah.
I guess that the important thing you're telling is in even the engagement with the people living in the place, because if everybody goes paints whatever they want, whatever they want, without that kind of connection you're doing here or the rest of artists, it's gonna be a nonsense.
Yeah, sure. And I think that's what the people who organize these kind of festivals and events, it needs to be like something that they have to keep in mind, to like the artist needs to know what happens in the city, how is the people that lives there, I don't know, the history, the traditions, and you have to communicate with the artist in a way that the artist can absorb and be influenced by that.
It's great to hear that from the new breed of artists. So you're not selfish at all. You just want to work with people here and leave them something for them, and it's great. Yeah,
the best part for me, talking about festivals, is absolutely to meet the locals.
Yeah,
because I see the city from a different point of view, you know.
Sure.
And they are saying me. They are telling me lots of stories and places to go and why this way or and not that way. So yeah,
it's like traveling alone or traveling with someone who knows the city. Do you still have that relationship with people from graffiti?
Are they lots of my friends keep doing graffiti?
And how do they feel your work? You're working on the streets like them, but it's a different kind of work, because graffiti is more selfish, so it's much more competitive, I guess, and you're doing the opposite.
I think in my group of friends we have the same mindset that street art and graffiti are two different things.
Yeah, that's for sure.
They don't touch at some point, so it's super okay, and they can see my work as something that don't have the same goals as the graffiti they are doing. So they just appreciate or not, or they are really critic about it. But it's like it's super chill.
They obviously they're your friends. They respect you. Oh, great.
But of course, you have some people from graffiti that don't see street art.
I know. I understand it. I understand. I really understand.
That's a big discussion, right?
Graffiti is. We don't want to. But I don't know. Maybe you. I don't know. I'm guessing. Maybe you have helped them to see urban art differently.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Or respect a little bit, because in the earlier years we had some kind of trouble, because graffiti artists used to paint in our artwork, so we have some kind of that typical street problem. But now I think they see the boundary.
But most of the street artists used to do graffiti. you know?
Yes, yeah, I know, yes.
So
Yeah, that's,
I think it's easy to understand like the differences and how you pass from one thing to the other, you know?
yeah, that's true. Well, Aheneah,
Done?
thank you. Yeah, if you want,
Okay.
you want to tell us something, I will ask you about what's your favorite music. What do you do when you're not working on graphic design or doing this? What's your biggest hobby or
Okay, so I play with my bunny a lot.
Really?
I have a bunny, yeah.
yeah?
Yeah, really cute, but really big for a bunny. And I love plants, and I have a big garden.
Yeah, so-
and that's really relaxing to watering the plants and to keep them alive.
Like garden, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, I love to do it.
Wow.
Yep.
You have to send us a picture of your garden,
Yeah, I will.
for sure.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks
I
to
know
you.
you have a lot
It was
of
a
work to
pleasure.
do.
Yep.
You have a lot of...
And I have volunteers waiting for me.
Okay, so
Yeah.
thanks for being here.
Thanks to you. Yeah, pleasure.